from BS and Beer Media, it's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Handoff, Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going. Oh, look at it. He's going to score. He's got the ball.
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Top of the Bleachers, where we talk about pretty much everything. What's up? Happy Thursday, right? What's up, man? 5/22/2025. How you doing, bro? Good Thursday?
How am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing great, man. I got an invitation to join the Illuminati today.
I know. I did too. Imagine that.
I mean, I can't imagine that there are too many people out there that got the same invitation that we got to join the Illuminati.
I hope not.
I got a feeling it was a mass spam thing.
Gotta be, right? That's creepy.
Well, it also talked about how we had, what was it? Something about our academia or something. I'm like, well, this person doesn't know me at all.
Yeah. No kidding. Just
And I don't
fans hanging out, bro.
Yeah, I don't think I don't see any way where I could help the Illuminati out. You know what I mean?
No kidding.
Like, I don't think anything good is going to
Well, that's
come.
not what they was offering. They was offering to make us wealthy. Come hang out with wealthy people.
Yeah.
We'll make you more wealthy.
Now, I've been around just a handful of wealthy people, and I don't really like them anyway. So.
It's not worth my soul, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Next thing you know, you end up drinking like a cup of blood, or they want you to do some sort of
Yeah,
initiation.
you're making signs on TV and all kinds
exactly.
of stuff.
Yeah,
You're not doing that. I'm not doing that. Speaking
And
of
then
that,
if you try to expose them, you wound up unalive.
I saw this thing LeBron was doing where he was all, doing this, and then he holds his hands together, and then something the way he makes the sign thing, and they were talking through the whole thing about how it was devil this, and this means 666, and this means that, and I was like, surely that's not what all that means, because that's crazy if that's true.
Well, I've gone down the rabbit hole a couple of times watching some of those, like how Travis Scott and people like that, and how they put satanic stuff in their concerts and stuff. I couldn't tell you a Travis Scott song, so I mean I don't listen to that kind of music, so I don't. He could be, I don't know. I mean, I was listening to classic rock today, and this sounds so fuddy-duddy. It sounds so fuddy-duddy, but Highway to Hell came on, and no, it was Hell's Bells came on, and I ended up switching the channel and listening to something else.
That's a good song. Good song.
There's nothing good about that song. It would be a good song if they took out the lyrics and just played the riffs and the drums and everything. But
that's the only part I know, really.
Well,
It's
if you
funny,
ever
when I was
if you ever look up
the words and stuff like that, I didn't pay attention to the words.
that's how he gets you.
That is how they get you.
That is.
It is. I know. Look at me. Turned out a complete mess.
Words have meaning,
Yes.
Words hurt, Jason.
I know. Anyway, I had an okay day. Had some pretty funny things happen, and then took Mom to pick the car up and rushed home to do this. So what's up? Did you watch the game last night? The Pacers Knicks game?
Okay, so had an errand I had to run, and I made it back just in time for halftime, right? Like I turned on the game, they were going to half. And I was like, oh, what great timing. And then I remembered that I needed to do an oil change on Lacey's car. So that took up like the third quarter and most of when I came back in, there was like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And the Knicks were pretty much in control. And I was like, okay, I'll go take a quick shower, come back out. So I jump in the shower, come out, and it's like 3 minutes left. And I'm like, okay, so let's see what happens here. Boom, they just start coming back. I'm like, I should have been watching the whole time.
How about that shot at the end there where he's like, boing, way up in there?
Is
That's
there
wild.
anybody in the that was watching that shot that didn't think it wasn't going to fall right back in?
You
And
could have
then
heard
he
a pin drop, bro.
And then he turns around and does the choke sign. Hilarious,
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
He
It
said he
would have
would have done
been
three, or he wouldn't have done that. He said,
yeah, it would have been better if it had been a 3-pointer, but they still ended up giving it up in the second.
bro. It's like the Lord's not a Knicks fan, you know what I mean? He's up there at the top of the backboard and he caught the ball and went, doop, drop it down in there.
Well, the Knicks did it to themselves, man. The Knicks did it to themselves. Turnovers killed them in the ball game. Freaking not hitting your free throws down the stretch killed them in the ball game. They had a couple of layups that they took, and I felt like it was really early in the shot clock. This was like, with 1 minute left or whatever. And they got a clear path to a layup and took it. And I was like, I think I would have milked the clock a little bit longer or whatever. Brunson gets into foul trouble, so they're having to sub him in and out. He has 5 turnovers in the last 4 minutes of the ball game, and that's not counting one of them that should have been a turnover at the very end of the ball game. So the Knicks did it to themselves, man. They controlled that whole ball game except the last 4 minutes of the ball game.
Yeah, I think they were up 7 at half, I want to say. And then they were up, I think, 3 going into the fourth. And then, it was a close game the whole night, really. But
I thought it was absolutely epic because there were so many former Knicks sitting on the sidelines, and the talk going in was, is Brunson the best Knick to ever play, and all of this stuff. And then they turn around and just choke right there. It's like, oh my gosh, it's same old Knicks. It doesn't matter. Put whoever you want on that team. Same old Knicks choking in the big moments.
Yeah, I miss Patrick Ewing.
Yeah,
miss watching him play. It's a pretty good game. I was kind of, Knicks, come on, at home. Can't be giving that away. Not all these stats about the Pacers winning it with. It was like a 1 in 400,000 something chance when you're down 7 with 30 seconds left or something like that. I forget what it was.
Well, the one guy, I'm not going to remember his name. Neesmith, I think is his name for the Pacers.
The guy hit the shot.
Dude, he hit like 4 threes in a row. Just bam, bam, bam. I'm like, somebody want to get on this guy?
I know it. Yeah. All right. Well, they got one more in New York, I guess. Tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, the Pacers have done what they were supposed to do. All they got to do is protect home court now, and they win the series. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see in this next game. Did that break the Knicks' spirits, or are they going to come out even more fired up? What are we going to see in this next ball game?
They better come out fired up. They better. And then tonight you got the Wolves and the Thunder, game 2.
Yeah.
That should be good, probably.
Yeah, the big narrative going into it is SGA and his ghost fouls that he ends up getting calls for, and the refs need to do a better job because nobody wants to tune in and watch them shoot 70-something free throws.
That's what I told you yesterday, man. It's the floppingest dude I ever seen.
It's just
if they're react when he does it too, not like oh, I got fouled. Like he falls down and
it's James Harden. I mean, James Harden did that forever. Run in and get fouled, whether he got fouled or not. I mean, if they're going to call it, you're kind of silly as a player not to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? The problem is that the refs have got to stop calling it. The refs have got to be like, sorry, man, you can't have a foul every time you come down the floor, dude. Sorry.
That's what it was like, man. He gets fouled every trip, seems like sometimes.
But you can't really blame SGA for it because if they're going to, I mean, he's playing the game the way it's being called. And if they stop calling it, because they don't call that crap in the Olympics. Like, they don't call that kind of crap in the Olympics because it's European refs most of the time, and they're like, no, that's not how we play the game. We don't go for the flopping or whatever. And the players end up having to adjust how they play, and they still end up dominating. U.S. does. So they need to do the same thing. The refs need to take control and just be like, sorry. Especially when you're talking about like the Eastern and the Western Conference finals. You know what I mean? Like, people you're getting big ratings right now. Don't screw up the rate. That if I'm the NBA, that's what I'm telling the refs. Quit screwing up my ratings. They tuned in to watch basketball, not to watch y'all blow the whistle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Then everybody be mad if they don't call. Well, you see all that foul? They missed the foul.
Well, I watched Brunson. I watched Brunson in the game the other night reach out and grab somebody's arm and smack himself in the face with it to get a foul called. Like, he fouled himself with somebody else's arm to try and draw a foul.
Jeez. They'll do this too. They'll wait for you to, they'll like pump fake and wait for your arm to be in a certain position. And then they'll bring their arms up through there on purpose, like not trying to go around them and shoot it. You know, like, oh, he fouled me. You know, it's like,
and 9 times out of
unnatural thing I've ever seen, bro. Like,
and 9 times out of 10 they call it.
It's like, I know, but it's like you wouldn't naturally do that. You know what I mean? You would naturally try to go around the guy or something. You know what I mean? Or shoot over him or something. Not just I'm gonna rip through it and score anyway because I'm Shaquille. You know, come on. Like, you're not gonna.
The one I don't like is, and I think it was probably Steve Nash or Chris Paul that started doing this, but they'll get out on a fast break and somebody will be trailing and they'll slow down to try and get the guy to run into him from behind to get a call. And what's hilarious is like 50% of the time they end up blowing the layup because they're so worried about trying to get the contact or whatever.
Or they block it.
It's like, just take it to the basket. You're out in front of him, you know?
Yeah. Well, we'll see about the game tonight.
Because the other thing
taking this one, you think the Wolves come back, or you think Thunder's going to take this one?
I'm going to stick with my prediction that this goes 7 games, that everybody protects home court. I think OKC wins it out of the West, but they'll win it at home. You know, they'll have to go 4 games at their place to win it, and Minnesota will take care of business at their place.
I saw something a while ago that was debunking the home court advantage thing. Like, it's not a big deal the last few years.
Okay.
You ain't buying that?
If I'm a coach or a player and you ask me, would you rather play at home or play somewhere else? I'd rather play at home. I think there's an event. It's where you practice. It's where you shoot the most. It's your locker room. You feel more comfortable there. It's no travel. You usually just have to drive from your house to the stadium. It's just, I don't know how there couldn't be an advantage to playing at home.
Yeah.
Now, I have seen teams
make you soft. I don't know. Maybe
Cowboys had a team 2 or 3 years ago that played like crap at home and played like they were world beaters on the road. It was the craziest thing. They had like the best road record and the worst home record. It was weird.
Too many distractions at home. You know, you got the family, you got the kids, you got
possibly
stuff. You know? Maybe
you don't get as, like, if you have to travel and all that stuff, maybe you get laser focused more, earlier or something like that. I don't know.
That's all you're thinking about is the game, instead of, I gotta make it to Susie's dance recital on tonight at 7.
I think that was one of my problems in sports is I never really, I wasn't one of those guys that had to have 10 minutes of meditation before we went out and took the field or whatever,
Me neither.
I'm a very loose person, so
yeah. I got off the bus. I was ready.
Let's
get my clothes on.
Let's go. Stretch me out. Let's do this.
Yeah. I don't really need to be sweating. I want to use up all my energy and warm ups. You know what I mean? That's big guys got to conserve,
The other
long game.
Yeah, the other thing about SGA and them calling all the ghost fouls is I feel like that's the third time I've made air quotes. I need to stop that.
I do it all the time.
It not
All
only not only is it boring to watch because all they do is shoot free throws, but it also like limits the defense for the other team because now you're getting people in foul trouble and when they can't play as aggressively on the defensive end because of the foul trouble. It kind of mucks up the whole game. I mean, I'm not against you calling a foul. If you foul somebody, you need to call it, but you got to be smart enough to be like, no, that was some theatrical bullshit. We ain't calling that.
True. I agree. Let's see what else we got here. They approved. Let's see. They're going to go to a new straight seeding model for the college football playoff. I don't know if you saw this or not. Remember how last year it wasn't like 1 versus 12, 2 versus 11, 3 versus 10. It was like the conference champions all had a bye or something. Like they're doing it different now. They're going to, let's see. So last year, the 4 highest ranked conference champions earned the top 4 seeds. Not going to do it that way no more.
They're going to go by record and strength of schedule.
Let's see. After evaluating the first year, the committee felt it was in the best interest of the game to make this adjustment. Okay, what's the adjustment? Come on, get with me here. To make the change. Okay, what change besides straight seeding? I mean, does that just mean 1 versus 12? I guess that's what that means.
I always love it when I find like a recipe, right? And
okay, I see.
Or I'm looking up a recipe and I like click on the thing and I gotta read about somebody's life story before they get to the recipe. Like I clicked on the link to get the heart of the story. I didn't click on the link so you could give me a synopsis of what you're about to tell me. Okay, just tell me what it is you're about to tell me.
No, I still haven't got a clear answer here, except for they're talking about like last year, Boise State was ranked 9 at the end of the year, but they were seeded 3rd because they were conference champion and blah, blah, blah. We're not going to do that no more.
So the conference championship doesn't get you anything.
Well, I mean, no, not necessarily. It doesn't get you a bye. It doesn't get you into the tournament. It's just another good quality win, I guess. That's how you want to look at it. Probably get rid of those after a while, don't you think?
So no more buys?
It doesn't say. It doesn't tell me shit. You know what I mean? It's like, what? They changed it. Okay, what'd they do? I don't know. I don't know what they did. They changed it. Okay, well, tell me what they did. What the hell, ESPN? Jeez. Okay, the 12-team playoff will move to straight seeding law this fall, rewarding the selection committee's top 4 teams with the top 4 seeds and a first-round bye.
All right, so you still get the bye. It's just like they're not gonna conference championship don't mean crap anymore.
It doesn't get you a bye anymore, no.
So they are trying to work out a way to where they don't have to let in a Boise State or an Arizona State or somebody like that they don't deem quality enough. They would rather have like here's
Alabama. What it is. The next paragraph. Now, independent Notre Dame is eligible to earn a first round bye.
Oh, I see. So we changed.
There it is.
Instead of making Notre Dame change what they do and join a conference, we're just going to rearrange everything so Notre Dame can do their thing.
Yeah, that's not what they say.
Yeah.
Reading between the lines, that's what's going on, bro.
Totally get it. Totally get it.
But you're right too. Just to keep those crappy teams from being a top 4 seed too.
Yeah, so they can let in more SEC teams, or they can let in more Big 12 teams, or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you win, well, that's not true. That's not true because you could have a. Nah, they just need to get rid of the conference championship game and have a regular season champion, and be done with it.
And then seed them.
Top 12. If you're in the top 12 at the end of the year, after the last football game,
Well, it kind of makes sense too, because
you're in the thing.
You're gonna have some people that'll get upset at this, because if it wasn't for Arkansas getting to go to the toilet bowl, well, they'll still get to
There you go. This change will continue to allow guaranteed access to the playoff by rewarding teams for winning their conference championship. But it will also allow us to construct a postseason bracket that recognizes the best performance on the field during the entire regular season.
So we can let Notre Dame be a number 1 seed.
So we can let Notre Dame be a 1. So we can make sure Boise State and Arizona State.
But it also opens
like that.
Wait. It also opens up the door for, say, 1 year in your SEC championship, you've got Alabama undefeated going against Georgia undefeated, and let's say Alabama wins, you could still give Alabama and Georgia a number 1 seed in this format.
Yeah, like 1 and 2. Yeah. You could, instead of being the conference's champions. Yeah.
See, I kind of like the conference championship thing. The only problem is that we have a big 5, not a big 4, and you can only let 4 of the so one of the conference champions every year was going to get hosed, and Notre Dame was never eligible because they were independent. So, yeah,
which is weird because they play basketball in the ACC, don't they? So it's like, I don't know, man. Money, bro.
Yes, it's definitely got something to do with money.
Yeah.
Plus, they can kind of, not just that, but being independent, you can kind of, like, I wish I could create our own schedule every year.
Here's the freaking payout, dude. Listen to this. They agreed to maintain the $8 million financial commitment to the 4 highest ranked conference champions. So if you win your conference championship and you make it you get the playoff, you get $8 million. $4 million for reaching the playoff, and $4 million for reaching the quarterfinals.
You get $8 million for being a conference champion and getting one of the top seeds. You get $4 million for just making the playoffs. So that's $12 million. And then what was the other one?
$4 million if you reach the quarterfinals.
So if you can win a game, if you're a top seed and you can win a game, then you're guaranteed.
If they combine all that, you think?
You're guaranteed $16 million.
That's crazy.
What do you get
do you think that's an addition?
Well, I mean, so you're just giving $8 million to the top 4 seeds, and then the next ones get 4, and the next ones get 4.
Yeah, like that's like your conference champion gets 8, and then everybody that makes the playoff will get 4. I guess that makes sense. I guess.
But I made the playoff. I should get 4. I should get my addition.
That's weird. That's a weird way of saying it, huh?
And then if you make the quarterfinal, you get another 4. So that's 16. What do you get for winning the whole damn thing?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
$25 million.
I guess that's it, probably. No, I don't know.
You know what they ought to do?
For the semis and the final. Like, what do you get for that?
You know what they ought to do? Okay. To make it to really put some incentive into the games or whatever. The winning team, out of the 12 teams that go to the college football playoff, the winning team, the other 11 teams have to pay the winning team their NIL money. So whatever your NIL budget is, the other 11 teams have to cover it if you win the championship.
Oh my gosh, that would suck. That would just be the rich getting richer right there, because they would just load up again and win again. Like, that would be, I wouldn't like that. Be Notre Dame champion every year, or Ohio State every year. Anyway, they changed the seating there. What else I was gonna say? Oh, the Valkyries got their first win, bro.
Yeah, they beat the Mystics.
Yeah, first franchise win. I don't even know who's on their team, bro. Let's go look at that. I could tell you one player on their team. Let's see. Kayla Thornton. Let's see. Let's see if I know any of these names. Kate Martin. Okay. Kate Martin. She played with Caitlin at Iowa. That's the only reason I know that name. Let's see who's their big time player here. They got Veronica Burton, went for 22. Kayla Thornton went for 18. So that's all right. That's okay. Got that first dub. Shot 82% from the free throw line.
Hey, what time do the Hogs play tomorrow?
3:30. I don't remember. I can't remember. I want to say 3:30 because the softball girls play at 7, I think.
So no show tomorrow, or are we going to do the show while it's on?
No show tomorrow? What's up? Why? Because the game?
Yeah, it comes on at 3:30.
Let's see.
You want to watch the watch the game while we do the show?
Ole Miss, 3 p.m. So that's before the show starts, even. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Tomorrow's Friday. We could do it a little early tomorrow. We could. I mean, well, I don't know. Depending on when you get home, I guess.
Oh, I'm off tomorrow.
You're off tomorrow?
I'm off.
How come?
I need to do some. I need to do a couple of things to my Jeep, and it gets my sub an extra day of work.
I got you. Nice guy, you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I should be off by like 1 or 2. We could do a show at like 2 or something.
Okay. Works for me. You'll have to text me to remind me, or I'll totally forget about it.
All right. Tweet him, peoples. What else we got? Anything else you want to talk about? That's the only 3 topics I had for today. So, what else you got? Anything?
I got nothing.
You got your 3 happies for today?
No, I didn't do 3 happies for today.
Well, you got 1 happy for today?
I don't have to work tomorrow. That makes me.
That's tomorrow. Happy. That's your happy for tomorrow.
That's my happy for today too, man.
I didn't really do anything today. I got a lot accomplished at work. I guess that made me feel good. So that made me happy.
And then the Hogs winning tomorrow. That'll be my happy for tomorrow.
Yeah. Carter Knox coming back would make me happy.
Yeah. Still haven't heard anything, huh?
No. And then there was a big thing about Adu again for the last couple of days, because he said Matt Norlander for CBS Sports came out on his show, and they were going through some of the NBA prospects, and he was just like casually talking, and he's very meticulous, like by his notes type guy, right? And he's looking at his notes, and he's like, yeah. Adu Thero and Carter Knox, blah, blah. I fully expect him to be back in Arkansas next year. And then just like went on to the next thing. You know what I mean? Like, but he's the only one that's said that. And then Adu had they had the clutch pro day or whatever. Yeah. They had some video of that, and he looked like he was sweating like a horse. Like he had been putting in some work. So I don't know how that went. And then today I saw he posted a picture with the NBA draft, 36 days. So that makes it sound like he's staying. So
I wish they would make it like baseball and even after they get drafted, they could decide to come back.
Yeah. Why would you though? I mean,
Well,
baseball, I
right,
guess, is
well, right
been in the
now,
minor league
but
for 15 years.
well, right now in basketball, I mean, you can probably make a dude could probably make more money coming back to the University of Arkansas than he could on a two-way contract in the NBA.
Possibly, yeah.
So, I mean, if they could draft him and then send him back to college instead of sending him to the G League, I mean, and he could make more money, and you already know that you got a spot in the NBA because you've already been drafted or whatever.
Yeah.
It
I
would
don't know.
suck though if you come back
I
and you
wouldn't
haven't
like that as a
you
franchise
wow, they got to get work in
because I don't
somewhere.
want to. Because I'm trying. Like I'm thinking, if I was trying to win right now, I'm trying to draft guys that are going to help me right now. I don't
Yeah,
need a
but
guy that's going to help me 2 or 3 years from now.
dude,
Like
I'm a big Adu Thero fan, but I don't think like he's the missing piece for an NBA team out there to win the
that's not what I
championship.
meant. I was just saying. Well, I mean, I'm not even sure I'd draft him. That's not what I was saying. But like
Maybe Cooper Flag or something like that, but not Adu Thero. I'm
well,
just saying that it would be interesting if
just
they did,
saying.
because then it would suck as a player though if you came back and had a stellar year and you would have gone, you probably could have been a lottery pick, because of the year that you had or whatever, but you've already been
Mhm.
drafted, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But that could
Yeah.
actually, if your stock went up, you might see teams actually draft you and then trade you before you even get to the NBA. Look at how good he did in college. We'll trade you this guy that we drafted a year ago for your pick this year or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. We're okay, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with those guys. They got to the 28th. We got 6 more days.
And
And,
now that
and basically, it's this weekend because they start moving in like this weekend, like the
it,
players that have already committed and stuff.
it had also, it's interesting. Like you haven't seen it yet, and I'm interested to see if it'll happen. Now that we're paying players, somebody who left early and went to the NBA is done in the NBA and ends up coming back to school. So you get like a veteran NBA player playing at his. So
Yeah.
like Carmelo, well, no, Carmelo's a bad example. Cooper Flag goes and plays 10 years in the NBA and then comes back to Duke and finishes out his college career.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be something?
I wish they'd all stay. Wouldn't it be crazy? How good would college basketball be if everybody had to stay for 4 years?
Well, I've made this argument in the past. Like pretty much every professional job that you're going to get, you have to have like a degree to be a professional, right? Whether it
Yes.
be a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree or whatever, you need a degree before people consider you a professional.
I've said this too.
So that ought to be a requirement for major leagues, whether NBA or Major League Baseball or whatever.
You
You
would
need
think
it.
so.
You need at least an associate's degree to become a professional, whatever. And it would help the college game out a lot, man. It helps the college game out.
Yeah. They ain't ever going to do that, but we
It's
can daydream
why
about it.
it's why college basketball was so good in the 80s and early 90s was because there wasn't a whole bunch of people that declared early for the draft. The guys usually stayed 2-3 years.
It's like there almost wouldn't be enough room for them, like, in a way. Like, it would make all the other, like, mid-major teams and that kind of stuff, like, everybody'd be better. You know what I mean? It
Yes.
wouldn't just be, like, 50 to 75 schools that are good.
Well,
It'd
look
be like,
look at the
150.
look at the mid majors that make the NCAA tournament every year. They're usually a senior laden team. They usually have guys that have been there 3-4 years playing for
Yep.
the same coach for the same university. It'd be interesting.
We keep getting messages, man. I don't know what these women want, bro. They need to leave me alone.
They want you to join the Illuminati.
I don't know who these people are, bro. Oh man, they just the scams, man. They all scams, bro.
I know.
These women are sneaky, sneaky.
I know.
Oh, hold on, time change. The tomorrow's game against Ole Miss has been moved to 11. Oh, that's the softball game. It's been moved to 11 a.m.
Okay.
We play Ole Miss in softball as well.
Yeah, but we're playing a 3-game series with them in softball, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man, I hope they do good. I hope they.
I hope so too. Let's see what else we got going on. Let me check the.
Now that the SEC tournament is single elimination, and we ended up getting a bye until Friday, we can go out with our regular rotation and win 3 games and win the SEC tournament, which I don't think Dave Van Horn has ever won the SEC tournament.
Really?
I don't think so. I think he's won the SEC regular season, but I don't think he's ever won the SEC tournament.
That's wild.
Well, they don't care. They don't care about the SEC tournament because it used to be like series, like you had to play a series or whatever, and it's just it wears your bullpen out. So
Yeah.
a lot of those teams didn't. That was when they threw all the scrubs out there and everything. And
I saw Roots going to throw game 1, and I think he said Wood was not going to pitch this weekend.
he had a bad outing his last outing. I'd like to get him out there to at least like come in for some relief for an inning or something like that.
He may have done something there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Just saying. I saw something where he wasn't going to pitch this weekend, so we'll see. Where's my search button there? Oh man, dude. You know who's going to be really good next year in college basketball? NC State, bro.
Oh yeah.
They just picked up Darion Williams, that kid from Texas Tech. They hit the 3 to beat us at the tournament. Yeah, they just picked him up. He just came out of the draft. But they got Will Wade, the coach.
I don't like to look at it like he hit the 3 to beat us. I'd rather look at it like DJ missed the shot for us to advance.
Well, whatever. He hit the last shot there to put him up. Anyway, well, that's stinko.
Did you see, get a little political with you for a second. Did you see the Gators visited the White House?
Yeah, saw him dancing and stuff.
And old Clayton Jr. is behind Trump making faces like he can't stand to even be in the room with the guy. He has he's got TDS bad, man. He's got TDS. And Trump even turned around and like forced him to shake his hand and stared him in the eye and talked to him. And then it's just, I thought it was funny.
Well, it's too bad.
Why?
Because I wanted him on my team. I don't know if I do now or not when you say that stuff like that.
I mean, at least he visited the White House. He wasn't a coward like Steve Kerr and wouldn't even go.
It's true.
Yeah, Steve Kerr just called you a coward. Do something about it. Like if I have a disagreement with you, or if I feel like your worldview and my worldview don't match up or whatever, and then you invite me to come, do something with you and other people and celebrate something. I mean, am I not being like, if I don't go, how are we ever going to be able to talk about stuff and iron out our differences and, agree to disagree in some situations or whatever? It's a coward's way out. Just say, I ain't going. I ain't going to go. It's like, you're a puss is what you are. You're a puss. You hang around Draymond. Huh?
For what now?
For not going,
doing what?
Well, for Steve Kerr, it was not going to the White House. I was using the example of just me and you. Like, if you won't go and talk to the person and iron out your differences or at least discuss your differences, then how are you ever going to advance. You know what I mean?
Maybe not supposed to.
Well, how are you ever going to
What
solve the?
what makes you? I mean, what? Some of them you can't conversate with.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're that kind of person, you're in the wrong. You need to be able to have a conversation with another person and put your point of view out there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do that and be civil doing it, then you're doing it wrong.
Okay. Let's see. I don't see anything else right now, man. Nothing breaking going on.
Yeah. I think the thing that the media missed about Florida going to the White House and seeing the president was for the again another womanizer in the White House. Brought in that Florida coach who likes to womanize, you know.
He was cleared.
Allegedly.
Oh, wait. No, wait. It was settled out of court or something, wasn't it?
It disappeared. Which usually means settle out of court.
Okay, yeah. Charges were dropped or something like that.
Yeah, because nothing says I'm innocent like we settled out of court.
I know, right? I'm totally innocent.
I'm totally innocent. That's why I gave that woman $1.5 million is to prove my innocence.
Oh gosh. All right, man. Well, enjoy your evening, and I will get you tomorrow, I guess.
Well, let me know if you want to go early or what you want to do.
And I will.
Oh, did you hear the rumor about peanut butter?
No.
Well, I'm not going to spread it.
I thought that was going to go a lot worse than it did.
You thought we were headed down the P. Diddy thing, didn't you?
I thought it was something. I don't know. What's this deal with the pizza?
Pizza?
And baby oil. Have you seen this like everywhere? I mean, apparently that's code for pedophile stuff. I don't know. Have you heard this?
Yeah, well, it was when it was before Trump's first term. Okay, it was when Obama was in office. There was a story that came out called Pizzagate.
Okay.
And apparently there was a pizza place, supposedly there was a pizza place in Washington, D.C. or something like that, that if you called in and ordered off the special menu, I did air quotes again. If you ordered off the special menu, then they would send you, they would traffic to you, So much, this rumor got so prevalent and believed. I don't know if there's any truth to it or not. I have no idea. I don't even want to start digging into that stuff because honestly, there's a part of me that doesn't want to know. Right.
Yes, I agree with that.
But this rumor got so prevalent and everything that a guy actually walked into a pizza place somewhere in New York or Washington, D.C. and shot the place up because he thought it was a front for human trafficking.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
No,
what?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So Pizzagate's been around for a while. So that's probably, and he was probably.
Well, I keep seeing all these celebrities that are talking about pizza in baby oil in the same conversation. And they keep showing clips of it. And I'm like, well, I don't even know. I don't know what this means. Like,
have you ever seen the movie
clip of Steve Harvey?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie 23?
Which one?
With Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Where 23 just keeps popping up all over the place and it ends up going. Well, there are people that claim that if you look for it, whatever it is, the number 11, if you actually start looking for the number 11, it'll start popping up everywhere, because you're mentally looking for it or whatever.
Yeah, it's
And
like
I think,
when you buy a red car. Now everybody got a red car.
yeah, or you buy a Jeep and then you realize, golly, a lot of people drive a Jeep. Uh,
Yeah,
it's the I think these clips that they show and stuff, I think like they're looking for stuff like that. So they find stuff like that. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's probably part of it. And it could be AI or fake or whatever
Yeah,
too.
that's all these baby clips going around where they're showing like movie clips, but it's babies that are
Yeah,
doing the movie clips or whatever.
those are
Okay.
hilarious, by the way.
They are funny, but they're also scary because I heard this guy talking about it, and he works for like a division of one of the three-letter organizations, CIA, FBI, or NSA, whatever. He worked for one of them for a time, and he was like, "Quit putting pictures of your children on the internet. Quit it. Everybody thinks your baby's beautiful. Quit putting pictures because." Pedophiles can go in and use AI and put your baby's face on some of the nastiest stuff you've ever seen. They got a thing now where they can put themselves in there with your child's face on whatever. And it's like quit putting
God
your
bless.
child on the internet because you're setting yourself up for stuff.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
nasty
crazy.
that there are
That's
people like that in the world.
I know, man. That's just wild.
And
Anyway,
what
I keep seeing that everywhere. I don't know. Like I said, and the AI stuff is crazy. You see that they got a new robot coming out, dude. She looked real. Like if she didn't have half a robot face, like she just had half a face, like the front part here,
yeah.
dude. I mean, you couldn't tell. It looked so real, and they already have like AI commercials and AI videos and all that stuff now anyway. You can't trust anything you see on the internet. You can't even trust anything you see on TV. Period. Probably.
This is what gets me about all the
I mean, have you ever seen Michael Jordan in person?
No.
How do you know he exists? Have you ever laid your eyes on him and seen him in person?
No.
How do you know?
Well, isn't this kind of going back to like the Truman Show or whatever?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna throw that out on me when I'm about 65. Oh, by the way, just wanted you to know we've been recording you for the last 52 years.
What gets me about all the crazy stuff going on in the world, as far as like pedophilia and human trafficking and slavery, and they got genocide going on in South Africa and stuff like that, is that Ecclesiastics 1:9, what has been will be again, and what has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. So whatever you can think of, whatever horrible, absolute, terrible thing that you can think of, there's nothing new under the sun. It's been done before. That's how evil and terrible man has been. And when I hear stuff and I hear it for the first time, I always go back to that verse. I'm like, this needs to end. This needs to be put. If I've ever been in favor of putting down something, this needs to be put down.
Well, the whole human trafficking thing, right? Like, there's so many people are upset about other things, right? Like slavery, right? They get all mad and upset about slavery. That's the same thing? You're selling human beings. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're of color, there's no way you should be involved in that, right?
You wouldn't think so,
because that would be you're doing exactly what you say everybody else did to you, and shouldn't be doing that. But that's not the case. That's not how it is.
No,
but
it's not.
They focus on other stuff too much, man. They don't.
Well, they're too busy worried. They're too busy worried about firebombing Tesla or just a guy that gets deported to El Salvador who has known gang affiliations and beat his wife. They're more worried about that guy than they're worried about people being sex trafficked. It's just,
Man, if you have daughters, this should disgust you.
it oughta.
That's just
But then
like
you read
like
stories. Like I read
Puerto
a
Rican
story
thing.
about a woman who sold her own baby. 6 years old, sold her to a group of men for some money, and just
How could you do that, man? I just don't get that at all. That's hard to relate.
and then you go back to Ecclesiastics. It's like,
Just yeah. Anyway, enough of the sad stuff.
sorry to bring everybody down.
Bring everybody down right before we go.
I tried to end on the peanut butter joke, and you had to take it somewhere else.
There we go. Here we go. By the way, let's do this. Here we go. Hang on. If you're struggling out there and having some problems, you thinking bad things or getting depressed or sad or thinking about hurting yourself or somebody else or whatever, there's a national hotline you can call, 988. Get somebody to talk to. Don't do life alone. Don't try to handle it on your own. Get some help, because the last thing you want to do is do something that you'll regret or not have a chance to regret. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also think you should live by if you see something, say something, Like I watched these videos the other night of these guys that set up this social experiment, and like people were walking down the sidewalk, and this little girl was walking down the sidewalk, and the guy run by and snatched her up and like threw her in the back of a car or whatever. And the number of people that just kind of look and just keep on walking, just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there's like a handful of, it's usually a man. Usually a man goes, whoa, whoa, and like grabs the guy, and everything. But there are a number of people just walk by like nothing ever happened. Like
fights are the same way. Like I've seen dudes they just beat the brakes off of them and nobody steps in to do nothing.
What I get frustrated at the hood fights and stuff that are on X is because you knock the guy out and then they take that opportunity to go ahead and hit him like 3 or 4 times or kick him in the head or something like that. The dude is knocked out. The fight's over, right?
Yeah, I know, man.
Like
it's crazy.
I don't really consider you a criminal when you get into a fight with somebody until you knock the person out and decide to go ahead and beat on them for a minute. Then you have crossed the line and you have become a criminal.
Yeah.
And I blame UFC for that, because those guys will knock somebody out and then go jump on them and stay after them till the ref drags them off. And it's like, dude, you just knocked his lights out. Why are you running over there to hit him more?
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. I hate
you
that.
Don't, you don't like UFC. You like the UFC?
I like seeing a good fight in UFC, but I don't like it when like they clearly have knocked the dude out and they run over there to hit him again, and like the ref actually has to break it up. It's like, dude, come on. That's you just knocked him out cold. What are you doing? And if the refs don't get over it quick enough, they'll hit him 2 or 3 more times,
Oh man. The hammer fist. Bam.
Yes.
Bam, bam.
It's like, dude, have you seen the new Roadhouse with what's his name?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that ends up, being his thing. Like he went one punch too far and ended up killing a friend of his or whatever. I mean, this is kind of weird. I worked at Coleman Dairy, and there was a guy, this is terrible, I do not remember his name. There was a guy that trained me, and he was like a supervisor. And one morning, it's like when you run milk, you start at like odd hours. We started at like 3 a.m. And they walked into the break room or whatever, and the supervisor was telling one of the route drivers what he needed to do. And the route driver didn't like it, and they got into an argument. And the route driver punched this guy. One punch, and he fell backwards and hit his head on the linoleum tile, and he ended up dying.
No.
And the guy got charged with murder. And last I heard, he had to go to prison or whatever.
What?
And that's what I'm saying, man. It only like one bad decision, like one hit the wrong way,
Yeah, I know.
and you're going to end up with a murder charge on you.
That's why I haven't been in more fights than I've been in, because I was always afraid that I would hurt somebody because I was always bigger than everybody. It's like,
Well, I've been told my whole life, you don't know your own strength.
yeah. Like I don't want to hurt somebody like that. You know what I mean? If I'm mad enough to want to fight, yeah, I'm pretty mad at you, but not like want to kill you or mangle you or damage you for life. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. That's heartless to me.
The crazy thing is that the next, like, I don't know, it was like the next week we're all sitting around in the break room and it's brought up and we're talking about it, and everybody in the break room was like, I've seen those guys like do the bro hug in the mornings, like come in and bro hug each other. And that one morning, just like,
Yeah,
they got into a heated argument and he punched him, and
it's wild.
it is wild.
That's crazy. Well, maybe we have a show on death stuff some of these days. I got some death stories too, but I don't want to get into it today.
Oh, well, that's what we should do tomorrow. We should do our craziest. We'll do a one-upper show. You tell a story, then I'll tell a story, and you tell a story, then I'll tell a story.
I don't know if I can one up you. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not a.
I don't know. You got some pretty good ones. I mean, the way
It
your
is,
grandmother died,
Yeah.
your freaking,
The car wreck.
your freezing cousin just died. You saw that dump truck wreck.
Yeah, I did see that. That was pretty wild.
Dude,
I saw
I'm
another
telling
wreck
you,
in St. Louis. I've seen a couple of wrecks that were pretty bad.
yeah. You and Steve were like following a dually one night on the interstate, and it like freaking went crazy.
Yeah.
And
He had some ice, started spinning around, and then jumped up on the guardrail of this bridge and was rolling down the guardrail. Do, 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 and then fell right back into the middle of the road. And I couldn't believe what I just saw. It was insane. And you could see him, like, because I was going, like, it was happening in front of me, and I was like going around him at the same time, you know, like, ah! And you could see him when the truck landed and was on the ground or whatever. You could see him like hanging from their seat belts and stuff like that. It was nuts.
see,
It's nuts.
that made me think of one I saw. So, I mean, we've got we could fill a whole hour with this.
We probably could.
Because I watched the dude driving over the road. I watched the guy get ejected out the window during a wreck.
Oh, shoot. Oh, that's not good.
No, it was not good. I'm pretty sure he was dead.
That's not good at all.
But I also was in the hammer lane, and there was like cars already stopping behind me, and I was like, I'm not getting caught in this. Vroom, down the road.
I called 911 on that one. I called them and was like, hey, you know, just saw this wreck. I'm at mile marker, whatever, southbound, whatever it was. Yeah, I called them at least.
I was in Batesville, Arkansas, sitting at a red light, and the car in front of me keeps letting off the clutch and rolling back, and then pulls forward and then roll back, and then pulls forward, roll back. And so one time he got pretty close, so I reached up and tooted on the horn, like, "Hey kid, watch what you're doing." And then he rolled back all the way into me on purpose, and then the light turned green, and he took off.
Wow.
Lacey was with me, and Mackenzie was with me, and I was about to lose my mind. I was chasing this guy down, doing like 90.
Oh my God.
Freaking, you could tell this guy did not want to stop either, man. He was doing anything to get away from me. And I mean, I was barreling down on him. Freaking Lacey called the cops and gave him his license plate number and told her where we were at. And he was like, well, I don't have any it was on the speaker phone in the car. I said, I don't have any deputies in that area. We have his license plate number. You should probably stop following him. And I said, I'm going to keep following him, and y'all are going to have to send a coroner out here if you don't freaking. Then Lacey finally got me to calm down. And I pulled over in a convenience store and got out. And there wasn't a mark on my car. The whole situation just made me mad. There wasn't a mark on the car. But we were headed to Christmas or Thanksgiving at Lacey's mom's house. And like I stewed all day, told the story like 20 times. Every time I tell it, I get madder. We went home through Batesville, and I'm just searching for this car. If I see this car at a convenience store, I'm pulling in. I got his license plate number, so I am freaking. I see this car every time I go through Batesville now. I'm looking for that car. Man.
That's crazy.
Oh, that made me so mad.
That's
the only instance of road rage I think I've ever really had, to the point where and I don't even think I'd have. Well, I don't know. I might have.
That doesn't sound like you to get mad like that. You're not normally.
It takes a lot to trip my,
it really does.
Anger. It takes quite a bit.
It really does. I'm the opposite. I got the short fuse.
Yeah.
I'm fired up in a second. I could be fired up in less.
I'm usually the one talking you off the ledge. Like you would have been talking. Actually, you wouldn't have been talking me on the ledge. You'd be like, "Catch up to him! I'll rip the door open."
I'd still be chasing that dude. When we all looked up his license plate, we'd have found that dude, bro.
Dude, I'm so glad Lacey was in the car with me and not you.
We'd have got that dude.
I could just picture us pulling up beside him, and you're reaching out and opening his door. Pull over!
Oh, you little sucker! I got you. Got you now. Anyway, okay. All right, man. Enjoy your evening, bro. We gotta go.
All right, dude. Love you, man.
Love you. Peace out.
Peace.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.